Finners, we mentioned them. Dawson's Cafe, Ducks. These are teams that play in the fall league.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do they make that early jump? Because remember, we always talk about teams when they first arrive in FPF, whether it's winter or spring seasons. They always have that welcome to the FPF moment where they get cracked. Are they going to avoid that downfall and be competitive this winter season?
I like Dawson's Calf Finest off the bat just because they have a lot of athleticism. Adamo Petruccelli is a dynamic playmaker on both sides of the ball. Gabriel Bardetti is a guy that we don't all know yet, but we will. They don't use Miguel Rodriguez's size enough because he is a giant. He's
How much of a giant is he?
Tall. Very, very.
He's like if Beastfoot was a disorder, he would be a Beastfoot giant.
He's like Alex Gastien then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man, that guy.
It was tall.
I remember him rushing me. Doesn't that complete nightmare?
Simon probably threw like 5 completions to him. Here you go. Here you go.
Here, Alex.
Here you go.
Go.
Just run in for that interception.
But I like that group. Ducks have 2 shutdown corners. Mo and I talked about a lot.
At the finals.
The offseason and in finals.
Yeah.
Yanni Labe and David Rothstein are nice.
They're tall, man.
Yeah.
They're tall, athletic. They can cover a lot of ground.
And Finners we talked about earlier.
Simon, your thoughts? What do you think about Cafe?
I agree with
Ducks?
Pizon. Dawson Calf's Finest. I think it's a good season for them. I just think Ducks are a bit out of their depth. They have good defense players, but their offense is not going to be able to keep up with Division 5.
I think at the end of the day, if I had to pick one of the 3, I'm going to go with Ducks to make it to the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the other 2 will be competitive, but I just don't know if they have enough firepower to make that last push for them to sneak in as a low end.
Give me all
seed.
3. Give me all 3 in the playoffs.
To make the playoffs, really?
Yeah. Give me what's the money line on that, GM?
$8.
$8.
$8. You
What
bet
can you get
$8,
with
you win
$8
$24.
What can we get with $8 nowadays?
Not a lot.
You get a nice
One
sandwich.
beer.
What was that sandwich you had there, GM, for supper?
A&W combo,
Oh.
double buddy burger, onion
Oh.
rings, and a root beer will get you for $8.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my.
Done.
There you
Look
go.
at that, eh? Maybe at the end of the year, our staff party for the winter.
NW?
If we're lucky.
Yeah, if we're lucky. Okay, 3 teams that are probably questionable, and Peasy knows one of them because they hated us. Well, they hated me more than they hated Peasy. Spartans,
Yeah, Spartans never hated
they
me.
never hated us.
They hated you.
Yeah.
No, we're cool.
But then
We're
again.
cool. SOB, straight out of Beth, and Balls Deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out of these 3 teams, Simo,
Mm-hmm.
who do you think is going to have the most awful, terrible, sucky, bad season?
Well, that's a weird way to phrase it. I like Jim's facial expression. I'll go with Balls Deep. I think Straight Outta Red is an actual very decent team. I
Yeah,
think.
they were a division higher in spring. They were in
Yeah.
the
Yeah, they really
D1s,
wanted to prove me wrong. They really wanted to go to
Yeah,
the
but that-
finals. Didn't do it.
But that's fine. Like, I like that core, and I think Straight Outta Red's going to be one of the good Division 5 teams. So obviously not
you
them.
think so? They're
Yes.
so predictable, though, guys.
Cool.
They
You
still
can be
stop it.
predictable. It works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They can
Does
be
it really
predictable,
work?
but
Look at
you have to stop it.
Look at James Dandria's numbers.
So I have a bit of breaking news.
Yes.
Alexis Bissett done for the season. Done for Darksiders, done for Spartans. That's
What
why
do
I
you do
know.
to him?
He's getting so he injured his knee last season.
Yeah, that's right. I remember
He's
that.
getting surgery.
That
So
sucks.
best wishes to Alexis Bissett. I hope he gets well soon.
Changes the dynamic for Spartans now.
Yeah. But Andrew Grant's back. Daniel Casavan's back. He never left. And Charles David Martel's a full-time member who he wasn't in
And
spring.
Messi's back now.
Sorry?
Dale Messi.
Dale Messi, I'm not sure is back.
Yes, well, he was. I saw him.
Well, he's the one that's
Who
doing the
was?
chants. Let's. He brings the chant to the field.
But I'm saying Andrew Grant, Daniel Casavan, Charles David Martel are excellent receivers. And James Andrew is he subbed for us in a game last spring,
Yeah.
and his play calls were very difficult to execute. But just
He's
by
a deep
working,
ball thrower though.
but in working with FPF, he's started to film a lot of games, he started to watch a lot of games, and he started to pick up plays. And I've been discussing this with him at length on the golf course and then in the off season.
Look at that, the golf course, the
Yeah.
high life here, hey Simon? Golf
Absolutely.
course.
I make no
was actually
qualms
there.
about
Yeah.
it.
Where are we?
Actually, Simon was there too.
Simon is actually up in his castle up in north with his family and stuff. While I'm out here slaving away on Sundays at 4:00.
Okay, Mokan.
but
Who's
but,
not there Saturday?
Don't worry about that.
But he's actually picked up a lot of plays by filming Game of the Week, by watching the finals, by being involved in the finals.
To be honest,
Uh,
it helps. The more if you watch, if you watch higher division, you'll pick up a few things. You'll pick up that Kevin White gets the ball out of his hands in the second half. He doesn't hold
He
on to
calls
the ball
4
so much.
plays and it works. Yeah.
Deep
So-
balls.
So for those listening,
Yes.
what would you suggest then in that case?
Well, stick around on the fields. If you're playing, let's say Wednesday night at the Bayern at 8:30, play your game.
Do we theoretically have resources on our website where you can maybe watch games?
Oh, yeah, also there's games of
Should
the
you
week.
tell the people listening about that?
There's also games of the week.
Tune in on our Facebook page for Games of the Week. And you can also watch our previous finals on our Vimeo page and YouTube. All that stuff's available to you. If you cannot find it because you cannot use the internet, feel free to contact any of us and we will talk to you like you're a child.
Contact please.
Contact anyone else.
514.
No, but anyways, my point is, I think he's learning, which is good.
Mhm.
Everybody could be able to do that. There's a lot of resources for that, but I still don't see it.
You know who he reminds me of? He's like Blake Bortles out there.
Oh boy.
I mean, so he's like a professional NFL quarterback?
Well, no.
Oh, sorry, a borderline professional.
Yeah,
As
borderline
people say.
professional
Oh.
FPF quarterback. No,
So
he is like that though because he's got talent. Same thing with Jackson, right? Talent to work with, but the quarterback play has been rather putrid. It has been though. Like if you look at the teams that they've been in the last couple of years in FPF Spartans, right?
The team's good, but
They just don't win the playoffs though.
he's very flaky. In the playoffs, he always.
They were like a wing.
But even during the
offense.
season, he's gonna have a very good game. He's gonna have 5 touchdowns, and then the following week,
They've
he's
also been
just
to a
gonna go
conference final.
12.
In his first season, they went to a conference final.
Yes.
So, I mean, they did win playoff games.
No, I'm not saying they don't win. I'm just saying he's very up and down.
And the only team they lost to that season was Trinity, which never should have been Division 6.
Also,
No.
that was.
They were a
brutal.
Division 3 team playing a Division 6.
That was a brutal team. So to answer your question, Mokan, I'm going with
Yes.
balls deep.
SOB quickly here, boys. Your thoughts on these guys?
Well, as you're saying it's predictable, I'm saying nobody.
I
can
think
stop them.
they're basically a blue chip stock in this division. They're in a
Because as a team, that's funny because they remind me of blue chips of a higher division.
Yeah.
They have the same sort of build and mechanic as well.
yeah, and that's probably what drew my attention there. But essentially, yeah, like I think they're gonna execute whether you know what's coming or not. They're gonna execute, and they're very good at playing their system. So if they get the right matchups, they will be a little matchup dependent. To your point, Mo, but
Yeah.
going down essentially a division, I think they'll be fine.
Okay, here it is for you guys. Scenario's this. Playoffs, 5 plays to go. You're down by 6. Down by 5. We'll go with 5 points. Who do you trust as a quarterback with 5 plays to go? James Danger or Max Marini to win you that football game with 5 plays to go?
Max Marini.
Max Marini.
James Dandria, because of his repertoire of throws, he can make more throws than Max Marini.
Max
Ooh.
can use
What-
his legs.
Simone?
Max
GM
does
White?
have the ability to use his legs though, and can roll out a little bit more. He
Mhm.
can create more plays
Yes,
out of
absolutely.
nothing.
He's definitely a playmaker. Definitely.
And straight out of breath have the habit of capitalizing on broken plays or exploiting weaknesses of
Yeah.
other teams. So that right there, I think, puts them in a bit more of an advantage.
If it's a situation where the game's, let's say, 43-38, then I'd pick James because he has scored in this game a lot. He's very confident. On the flip side, if the game's a very low scoring affair, I'd go with Marini.
I can see that.
Because he's the kind of guy that says, okay, I have a shot now. I have
He's
5
like a
plays.
rhythm shooter in basketball. Like
Yeah.
like once he starts hitting his threes,
He's going to find a way to just think, okay, I won't rely on my guys anymore. I'll rely on myself. I'll beat the rusher. I'll make a play. And then my team's going to come feed on me. Whereas James, if his receivers are not in sync with him, there's only so much you can do.
Well, then, I'm quite surprised by the I thought it'd be a clean sweep for Max Marini.
no, I think you're gonna see a change in James this season.
By the way, they play
I
each
like
other week
James.
7. SOB against Spartans week 7 in Brossard, February 17th.
All right,
10
that'd be
PM.
fun.
That should be a good game.
That might be a statement game for both teams. That might be a playoff game when you think about it,
A
right?
play-in game kind of.
Essentially, right? Because
Yeah.
at that point in the year, we're talking about the last 3-4 weeks of the year and how vital every win's going to be for those bubble teams, and we might be looking at 2 bubble teams in that case.